Hi guys, Gruntle back with another podcast. This one is with Masked Villain Gaming on Twitch. We have a cool chat. Just a little note about, I think it was an hour in. I'll have to check that. Sometime during the podcast, there was a bit of a technical difficulty. Unfortunately, the internet on my end did something weird, and so had to stop the thing. There's a bit of a robot voice section where Masked Villain's got the robot voice that happens with the low quality audio, but I will be editing out the pause in the middle of that, so there might be a little bit of a jump in the middle section of the podcast. But anyway, I hope it's not too annoying, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. It is with Masked Villain, as I said, and yeah, here it goes. Alright, hello everybody. I'm Mr. Gruntle, also known as Kai. That's my real name, and this is a podcast with Masked Villain. He is a gentleman which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. He's both a consistent streamer and a YouTuber. So, Masked Villain, welcome to the podcast.
Ah, thank you. Hi. Hello.
How was your Easter? Or how was your Easter?
My Easter was good. I didn't really do much because I'm a chef in real life, and I pretty much worked and cooked for the people that didn't feel like cooking for their families.
Oh, okay.
So we had a couple tables. It wasn't really anything busy, but being that, as it said, I don't get to go to any of my actual, because for some stupid reason, my family has made it so that they have all of their holiday dinners on Sundays, and I work every Sunday.
Oh.
So I never get to go to them. So
missed
another one this year, but I don't know. One of these years I'll work it out. But
yeah,
usually
just take a day off work or something. Do something crazy.
Money.
Yeah. All right, so cool. Did you get any eggs or anything? Or are you not that egg
yeah,
person?
I got a little Lindt chocolate bunny.
Oh, nice. That's good.
From someone, so that was good.
Dark chocolate?
Got my chocolate.
Dark chocolate?
Yeah, it was dark, and then there was also a milk one that we had. I usually wait until the week after Easter, and then just go and buy it all for like half the price or a third of the price.
That's a good point. I couldn't help myself today. I went out and bought an egg. They're so overpriced. It's crazy, but
yeah.
I can't help it. They're in like shiny packaging, so I must get one. Anyway, I'll let you guys all know about the format of the podcast. Basically, I'll be talking to Masked Villain about his journey from gaming to streaming and anything interesting in between. And it'll be pretty much chronological order, so gaming past, what you do now, and what you see happening in the future. And then we'll end on a wee bit of a Q&A if anyone's interested in that. So yeah,
sweet.
I guess we'll get into the start of the podcast. Just so that everybody knows who you are and what you do, just give us a little blurb about what you do on Twitch now, or on YouTube as well.
Well, I mostly stream, right now I've mostly been streaming Borderlands. Most of my career I've streamed Borderlands for about the past year and a half now, but now that Borderlands is coming to an end, I am going to be moving, I think, away out of that world and trying to venture into other games that I either have and haven't played yet, or games that are going to be up and coming. Maybe I'll get into some console playing, I'm not sure. But mostly with my YouTube and Twitch, I try to do just Borderlands and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Sweet. And yeah, I don't know why I'm saying random stuff here. It's the start of the podcast. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I'll get into it in a second. So, starting at the start, I guess. When did you begin gaming? How did you first start?
My first start was pretty much where anyone that's my age of mid-30s start, was the first Nintendo system. If your parents didn't have an Atari that they played themselves. But yeah, my parents got me the very first NES system on the Christmas day that it came out.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was pretty cool, and played it, and then moved. We didn't get the Super Nintendo, moved up to Sega Genesis and switched over to start playing Sonic and all those awesome Sega games that they had. And then really from there, became a teenager and didn't really play as many video games, and then just started getting. I think the next console I had after that wasn't until like the Xbox came out.
Oh well.
So like there was a long little while there where I didn't really play too many video games, but then once I got back into it, got my Xbox, got the 360 of course when it came out. And then played my 360 right up until pretty much when I started streaming and got my gaming PC and everything, and switched over to PC and got rid of all my consoles.
Oh wow.
And yeah.
Well,
now
yeah,
I might
PC
go
is
back
just
and I might
leaps
get a
and bounds.
PS4 because PS4 is pretty nice. But yeah, you can never beat a PC over a console because consoles are just cheaply made PCs
Yeah,
nowadays,
or except
pretty
when they
much.
have the exclusives on the consoles, and then everyone gets jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But mostly
so
all the consoles are nowadays are just basic PCs thrown into a small box. And the moment that they actually figure out what they're going to put in the box, within the time it takes them to figure out what they're putting in the machine and actually release it, the things they put in it are obsolete.
yeah, but there's no
compared
really
to what
way.
we can get for our PCs.
There's no way to do it differently, unfortunately.
No, or an Xbox would be costing $1,500 every year.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'd be releasing a new one every year for $1,500.
Or every half year.
Yeah,
Something crazy.
That's one thing with technology too. It's expedient, and as like they're saying now, like you release a processor, and within 6 months they release one that's faster.
Yeah.
And like next thing you know, 4 months later they got a faster one. Then 2 months, and the next thing you know, it's just like it doesn't stop. Next thing you know, we're living in Star Trek land.
Hopefully one day. That would be
That'd be
nice.
sweet. Just walk up to a machine in the wall and be like, "Coffee, hot."
I don't know if I'd trust a machine to make me coffee. Gotta do it myself.
Yeah.
All right. Were there any standout games in your past gaming stuff? Like when you first started, do you remember any awesome games?
Well, my first gaming memories are obviously very first Super Mario Brothers and the Duck Hunt combo that you had that came with the series. And then like playing on Nintendo, the games I really remember that stood out for me are some of the dumb games like Total Recall. That was a really bad movie game. It was really bad, but
What did you do in the game?
It was you played through the movie, but it was really shitty made. It was really bad.
Okay, so just
And,
like let's make a little game on the side kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then Narc, but that was a really good game where it's like a side-scrolling shooting thing, but you're like a drug dealer and you have to kill the cops.
Oh, I see.
It was like, it was one of those kind of iffy games for your kids for the Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
And then really after that, it was right on to Sonic and everything on Sega. Really just Sonic on Sega is all I really remember. And then, Nintendo 64, I think I had a 64 for a while. So, of course, there was Bond, GoldenEye, and all the Mario World and Donkey Kong Jr. And
is it the one that
Earthworm
had
Jim?
Is it the one that had the pod racing game?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's one that I
Mario Kart.
remember from that kind of time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, like I said, once I got onto Xbox, the only thing I really remember about having my Xbox was that it was a modded one, that I had emulators and all that kind of stuff on it. And I
Heaps
could
of
also
games.
go to the store, rent a video game, and actually burn it onto my hard drive and have it forever.
Nice. Completely illegal, but
But like it was kind of cool that people were really figuring out how to do that stuff to those machines.
Yeah, I know when I first.
Yeah.
Sorry. I
Go
keep
ahead,
interrupting you. Yeah, when I first heard about it, it was pretty impressive as well. It's like, this is amazing. You suddenly have games and they're there. I thought you had the disc and everything. It's pretty cool.
They have complete emulators with ROMs and everything, and then they just put a big hard drive in it pretty much.
Yeah.
And pretty much the hardware that came with the Xbox was way powerful than any of the systems that the emulator was running. And like I had every system from PS1 back and their entire catalogs on this machine.
Really?
That I could play at any time. Yeah.
Wow.
I actually have one of these machines still out at my house. If I get a capture card, I'd be able to capture it and stream it. But it has all of the emulators on it and all that kind of stuff too. And it's just sitting in a box in my dad's closet, I think. Because I gave it to him and I'm like, this has Atari games on it if you want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it doesn't look like an Atari. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, it's not. But yeah, that's pretty much my best memories of gaming. And then, you know, when I was older, I have spent a lot of time in arcades. So then there was arcade gaming, but that's a total different beast altogether.
Tell us about that. I haven't had many people who have done arcade gaming.
Well, when I was a kid growing up, the only place there was for us kids to hang out was an arcade in our town. Okay. And it was like an arcade / pool hall. So there was pool tables, but it was mostly arcade games. So there was multiple hours playing pinball, or like, I remember there was a Jurassic Park pinball machine. And it wasn't very sensitive. Like a lot of pinball machines, if you hit it hard or something, it'll tilt, or if you pick it up, it'll tilt and it'll stop the game and have to reset itself and such. But this game wasn't very sensitive at all, to the point where if the ball went down the sides, you could reach down and grab it and pick it up and bring it back out and then hold it with your thing and set the thing back down and keep playing.
That's incredible.
So we spend hours playing that, hours upon hours. And then one day I was fairly like friendly with the owner and the guy that ran the place, and I would sit at the front counter and talk with him and stuff. And he turns to me one day and he's like, I don't understand it. You guys play that fucking pinball machine all day, and then I go back at the end of the night and there's like $3 in it. And I'm like, yeah, because we figured there were so many people watching the person play, because the person playing is going for a high score, because it's until you screw up or accidentally lift the game up too hard and cause it to tilt. That was the only thing that would stop us from playing. And we got so good at the game, like the high scores were just outrageous. So what we figured out is we just have to form like this circle around whoever was playing so he couldn't see. And that's all it was. Mm-hmm. And then eventually he figured it out. And
did he kick you all out, or?
No, he took the game out.
Oh.
He took it, and he replaced it actually with Rocky and Bullwinkle pinball, which was really awesome.
Oh yeah, that's good then.
It was sensitive, but it was really good.
Cool, yeah. I've got a friend who's quite into pinball, and lately he's been buying a lot of machines and fixing them and stuff. And one of the ones he has got is the Jurassic Park one. And apparently it's like a very popular one nowadays. Like it's quite expensive if you want to buy a good condition one, because it's one of the most popular.
It's got a lot of moving things on the board too. Like I'm sure like it broke a lot, and he got it fixed a lot because we were always dropping it.
Yeah. It's got that T-Rex up the top that has the
T-Rex
movements,
at the top would always
bites the ball. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Did you ever play there's a Doctor Who pinball machine that I quite enjoy playing. Did you ever see that?
No, I don't think when pinball was popular over here that Doctor Who was at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
I think that was probably more of an overseas thing.
It's quite an enjoyable pinball game for me, because I'm pretty crap at pinball, but I can get nice high scores on this one. Not sure why. Yeah.
There's a lot of really good pinball games that you can get for computer now that are actually really good.
Yeah, I actually have one of those.
Consoles and stuff.
Yeah, I've got one of those, but the problem is when I try and play it, there's like the slightest amount of delay between me pressing the key and the flipper actually going. So it's like just a little bit too much that I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Some things just have too much latency.
But they are quite cool, the ones on PC and things, because they've got a lot more animations and cool things happening. Like if you've got a superhero one,
a lot of them you can get different boards. They have interchangeable boards within
the big
a game.
Superhero guys flying everywhere and things like that.
Yeah, it's things you definitely couldn't do on a real pinball machine.
Yeah, definitely. In your past gaming, did you make any like good friendships or connections through the gaming?
Not so much because I did like in the arcade days, because we'd all stand around the same machines and get to know each other. Mm-hmm. But then once I got into like console gaming and stuff, it was really just my friends really, because we'd all just get around, and we even got a couple of us would get together and like hook our Xboxes together, Xbox 360s together, and play LAN games to like LAN Borderlands together and
Oh,
stuff like
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Because playing it LAN instead of playing it like split screen or online is a lot better. Because for one thing, you don't get any of the like loading times or anything between the two characters if you're LAN. Because it's not really transmitting over any kind of internet or
It's
anything.
just straight there. Go a lot faster.
And then I had a buddy that I worked with for a while, and we'd go over to his place and play a game called Black for Xbox, which was kind of like a Call of Duty type game. And that was fun. But I didn't really start making friends gaming until I started streaming as well.
Right, yeah. That's a really good way of making friends.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot of people, like I spend more time probably with the people in my channel and in my TeamSpeak and stuff than I do with people in my real life.
Now, some people would say that's unhealthy, but but it's fun.
Yeah, it was. Well, some of the people I actually know and like know in real life, so that's a little.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
But there's others that I still would like to meet, like Too Much and Hunter Locust and all those guys. Those are the guys that I've talked to since I pretty much started streaming.
Yeah.
And eventually one day when I get time to go on vacation, I'll take a little trip, and me and my girlfriend want to do cross Canada trip. So because I live near Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada, and it's on the east side, and we want to drive to the west coast, which is where my mom is, and visit her. And while we do that, we want to swoop down and go through the States and meet some of these people that we've been talking to for this past year.
That would be quite a cool trip.
And actually get to shake their hand and be like, holy fuck,
yeah,
I know what you look like and stuff, and I hear your voice in my ear every night, but actually physically meeting the person would be something totally different.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that you can make such good friends just over gaming. I reckon that's really cool.
Yeah, the conversations, you actually get to learn a lot of personal things about these people, because you get comfortable talking with them and you start opening up and you start telling stories about your past and things like that. Like this, I like Too Much has told crazy stories and things like that about like his army days and all this kind of stuff. And I've told lots of crazy stories about my past, and yeah, lots of stuff.
I'm sure that makes for some good viewing.
Yeah, it's made for some really good quotes in my channel. I have a bot that I use, and it has a quote system where you can put in quotes, and a lot of my quotes are pretty bad.
but you got to put them in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Exactly.
You're not allowed, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're not allowed to laugh at other people.
Yep. It's a good point. Or you probably still will, but just don't. Come on.
Yeah.
Laugh a little.
Not to their faces.
Yeah. So, talking of the live streams, how did you first get interested in that?
Well, I started YouTube about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I started YouTube just because I was watching a lot of, I was playing Borderlands 2, doing a lot of farming and watching a lot of farming videos of Morning After Kill and Yoda Slayer and all those kind of people. And then was like, well, I could do that. And I looked into what it would take to get a capture card and what it would actually take to make videos. And so I started doing that. And then eventually that led to me watching streams and stuff, because I came across Rob's channel, and Rob was the first, our Elysian 85 was the first channel I ever watched on Twitch. And then that, I started looking into then, I'm like, okay, well, what do I have to do to stream, and can my computer do that? And I looked at it and was like, or not even, I didn't even have a computer at that point. I just had my Xbox, and because I was using a Live Gamer portable, Avermedia Live Gamer portable to capture my gameplay. And so then I decided, well, I should get a PC if I want to stream at the same time. So I went and got a PC and told them, I want one that can do both, and they did that. So once I got the computer and everything and got set up with OBS and everything, I just started streaming.
Sweet.
I didn't even I wasn't there was no overlay, there was no webcam. I don't even think I used a mic or anything for the first little while, and just kept at it. That's the only thing I can say. If you want to stream and you want to actually build a channel and stuff, is you have to be super consistent. It's like I treat my channel like a TV show. People who like their TV show will find the time to watch that TV show every week or when it's on. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's another thing too, is having a schedule is a huge thing, and sticking to that schedule. Like I stream 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, sometimes later, depending on if I feel like staying up.
Do you do that every night?
And then that's daily, unless I have personal life stuff, and in which case I usually tweet it out or say the night before, I won't be streaming tomorrow night, and blah blah blah. At which point I'll usually host my friends and things like that. So if someone comes to my channel expecting me to be on, they'll get led to one of my other friends' channels or something like that. But it's daily. It didn't used to be daily, and it might, once I get big enough, go back down to like 5 days a week and start taking those 2 days off again.
Yeah, especially if you start streaming for long hours every day.
Exactly. Go down to, like, instead of doing 3-hour streams at minimum, go down to like 6-hour streams minimum, but 5 days a week. But at the same time, it's being consistent and always being here and always being consistent.
Yep, definitely. So you were saying that Arleaston inspired you to start streaming, and it seemed like it was quite an organic change from YouTube. So how did he say things like you guys should start streaming, or did you just go, oh, this is kind of cool?
I thought it was really, the reason I started watching it was like, I realized probably the same reason a lot of the gamer streamers start is because I'm just sitting here at home playing games by myself or talking to my friends online and playing games. And I figured it'd be nice, like when I started streaming, I was kind of in a shitty place in my life, and I thought it'd be nice to talk to people while I play video games. So I looked at streaming as a chance to do that, where if I'm sitting here playing a video game, I might as well let people watch me do it and hopefully have someone to talk to while I do it.
Yeah, it's like you're already right there in front of the computer or whatever, and playing the game. Someone asked me the other night, what would you be doing if you weren't streaming right now? I said, I'd probably be sitting here doing exactly what I'm doing, just you wouldn't be watching. Yeah.
Like that's it. Like that's literally why I started streaming, and because since I saw Rob doing it, and I saw that he was kind of doing the same thing, and he was getting a lot of people watching him, and I like he was one of the first channels I went into, and when I talk, he responded and answered my questions and talked to me like I was a person and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, that's really cool. That's something I'd really like to get into and start doing. Yeah. And it took a while before, like, there was many a nights in a row where it was just me and Nightbot.
Yeah, that happens. That always happens when you start, unless you're some crazy giant YouTuber who suddenly thinks, "Oh, I'll just start streaming," and hundreds of thousands of people instant.
Or you have someone hype up your channel before.
Yeah, that's true.
Or something like that.
The lucky people.
But, yeah.
Maybe the hardworking people. Maybe not the lucky ones. Something anyway.
I like the progress that my channel has taken. I'll say this: it took me probably almost 8 months out of the. I guess I've probably been streaming now for about 1.5 years. So we'll say, 18 months. We'll say it took me a good 8 to 10 of those months to get my first 500 followers. And then in the last 10 months since then, I'm up to now 3,100.
Oh, that's nice.
So but it took so much grinding just to get to 500. But once you start to reach a plateau and people start to get to know you and you become known in the community and your name starts to spread, it becomes exponential, right?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you start getting more and more people coming to your channel. And next thing you know, you start getting rated by other channels and things like that.
The consistent views also help as well.
Yeah.
The people who come in and chat every day and grow the community.
Yeah. Like I a lot of my community was built actually because once I found Twitch through Rob, one of the first channels that he rated that I was in with him rating was Hunter Locust. So I started watching Hunter Locust as well because he was on every night just when I got off work. So I would go home and watch him, and then eventually he would start asking if anyone wanted to play with him, and I started playing with them as well.
Oh, cool.
So I thought that was kind of neat, and then it got to the point where I was playing with them so often that they invited me into the TeamSpeak as well.
Right, that's
so
awesome.
Then I started actually talking to these people, and then like through that we started rating each other, and like a lot of like dual streaming, and a lot of his viewers would come over to my channel and watch, and vice versa, and then like a lot through that really helped us build channels. It was awesome.
Sweet. So you started from YouTube. So how did you start doing the YouTube thing? Oh, you've already said, haven't you? I don't know why I'm asking this.
Just mostly like I said, just watching the videos from like Morning After Kill, which are really funny and like good commentary, but also informative and things like that. And then just being like, that's something that I'd be in. Like, I'm sitting here farming anyhow. Like, I spent hundreds of hours on Borderlands 2 on Xbox 360 in my living room on a dining room chair, like 4 feet from my TV, sitting there farming for no reason. Just like, I didn't even need the gear. Like, I just enjoyed it, and I'd sit there and do it. No one watching, just by myself. And then I was like, well, you know, if I spend, you know, 120, 150 bucks and get a capture card, I could start making YouTube videos. And at least it was just more of the hobby of something new to do, and something I was already playing the game. So I was like, well, because my ex-fiance at the time was like, you know, oh, you're just going to sit around and play video games. Why don't you do something? And then I started thinking, well, I am doing something. I'm playing video games. And then I was like, well, if she doesn't think that's something, maybe I could find something to do with video games that she would think is something.
I'll show her. I can do things.
Well, it's kind of funny because it's like my dad. When I told my dad I first started making YouTube videos and streaming and stuff, and he's like, what are you, that's a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you find something to do with your time that you can like make money with, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm like, I can pay my bills and shit. I'm not really worried about that. And B, I really enjoy video gaming, and there is a chance that I could actually make money off of doing YouTube eventually. I'm like, when I say eventually, I mean like many, many years down the road, because it is if I thought building a Twitch channel is hard, building a YouTube channel is really hard, because there's way more competition on YouTube. But it's I lost my train of thought.
So good. We can move on if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got a Patreon account, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. So talk to me a little bit about that. How come you decided to start that up?
The main reason I decided to start that was mostly because I don't feel my channel is partner material for Twitch.
Okay.
I feel like I'm a little rough around the edges, and quite honestly, I love being on Twitch. I love the community and everything, but since the acquirement of Twitch by Amazon, it's come to my attention that they have become kind of a soulless company that is just in it for money. And they've made some choices lately in the people they've partnered that I really disagree with. And they are doing a lot of things, like they have their rules of conduct that say certain things, and then they just don't enforce them on certain channels because those channels get lots of views and bring them lots of ad revenue. And they even partner some of those channels so they can make even more money off of them. And it's quite sad that like people like me and other, I'll even say it, it's mostly female gamers that they're doing this with, because sex sells. People like coming in and seeing a pretty girl on the screen. The problem I have is that a lot of these pretty girls on the screen are breaking a lot of the ROC rules in the clothing they wear and the content that they put out, and it's kind of sad. And it makes me sad when I see other really talented female streamers that are really working hard to build a channel, and it's like, you know, then you got a girl that just puts her big boobs up in the screen, and next thing you know, she's partnered in 6 months.
Mm.
You know, so I figured with Patreon, it's a way that people can still support my channel, and without that support, quite honestly, I wouldn't be able to do any of this because the support helps pay for my internet, which I need to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People have no idea how much internet it actually takes to do this.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot.
I use minimum, like when we get our internet bills, I use minimum 700 gigabytes a month. Whoa. If I do a 24-hour, I can sometimes use a terabyte. Whoa. A month of data. That's what I'm using for data. Like I have an unlimited plan. Like I have no restrictions on up and down. And I have really good speeds with my plan. But the only reason I got that plan is because of Patreon. Because of the support that people have given me through that and through my channel. And it's awesome.
Yeah, I do like Patreon. It's a nice platform for people to be able to support the people that they enjoy creations from across different mediums. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, there's lots, and Patreon, like people are like, what is Patreon? Is it like just a Twitch partner system or something? I'm like, no, it's actually for all types of artists. Like it's just for artists. If you're an artist, like you're a musician or something, and you want to help, like you want people to help you build a studio or something, you can use Patreon to do that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be a monthly subscription. You can do one-time payments. You can do all this type of things, have goals. It's kind of like a Kickstarter for just artists kind of thing, but more exclusive and more extent. Like there's a lot more you can do with it. And I've even gotten to the point now where I found a third-party guy that set up an alert for Patreon for OBS, which it was kind of neat. I was able to. So now when people sub to me, it actually sets off an alert on screen, which was kind of neat.
Sweet, yeah, alerts are cool. It's definitely useful to have them.
People like seeing their name on the screen.
Yeah, totally. Who doesn't? It's like you're on TV.
There's lots of times where I'll donate to a channel just to see the message and have the guy read it out. I do that to Rob a lot. Make him read really weird things out live on stream because I donated $5.
Nice. Cool. So, I guess we'll move on to what you think your most fun or your best moments streaming have been. Do you have any that stand out to you?
Well, I have like my first big raids. My first ever big raid I ever got was from a guy named Mechjaw, who recently just started streaming again, who was on a little bit of a hiatus. And it was like, a couple hundred people into my room at once when I'm used to having like 5-6 people maybe in there. Like this was back early. And it was just awesome. I was just playing a game. I'd never been raided before, and like all of a sudden just like all these people swoop into my room or watching and chatting, and that was really awesome. And then as far as like my whole gaming, online gaming, I guess, kind of career, my other big moment would probably be when a guy named Killer6 did a spotlight video on my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
And he was started to do this thing called Shout Out Sundays, where he did a video on new and upcoming YouTube channels that he liked. And his very first one was me and Hunter Locust's YouTube channels. And that got me lots of publicity because he's a fairly huge, fairly big Borderlands YouTuber who, he now does Destiny and stuff. But that was huge for that, like absolutely huge for my YouTube. And then, but with Twitch, that, and then I don't know, when I got into the group, I guess with Hunter and Too Much in them and like actually considered myself part of their group, that was quite a big feeling and moment. When I found that group of people I kind of found my home on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And that was really nice. And then like there's other moments, of course, like getting raided by like bigger people, like Morning After Kill and stuff like that.
Oh well, you got that right.
That's always. I got raided one night. I got raided by Rob, our Leeson 85. He brought like 250, 300 people into my room, And then just as soon as his like hype died down, Morning After Kill came in with like 600 people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was a pretty crazy night. My mods were getting a workout that night.
Yeah. Gotta love those mods though. They do a good job.
Yeah, no, they do. I've got some really good ones.
Yeah, I don't have any currently because I don't have enough people viewing to really need mods.
And people aren't really chatting because they're listening. So.
Oh yeah, with the podcast definitely, it's just mostly listening. So, but when I go into chats like Baru's before he did I haven't been since he's changed it to subscriber only chat. But before he did that, there was a lot of cleaning up being done by the moderators. They do a very good job. Yeah, one of my mods, Sweet Vanilla, she recently got made mod in Rob's channel as well, and his channel can be pretty crazy. You get a lot of people, like, I hate to say it, you get a lot of kids that come into the channel and just type, like, just if they don't get their answer right away, they'll just spam the same question over and over, or they'll just spam random things and stuff like that, and they don't understand that, like, as the streamer, that stuff can actually start to bother a person. Yeah, it's difficult to kind of have a nice coherent stream when you get people coming in and kind of messing around with it, and but the mods, then you have the mods and they clean it all up and suddenly it's nice. Yeah. I'm pretty good with having trolls in my channel. Most of the time my mods don't have to worry about trolls because I actually like trolls. I'm one of those people that I like making comebacks. Like, if you come at me with something like, you know, you're ugly and blah blah blah, then I like that. I like when people do that, and I feed off of it, and I'll eventually get to the point where usually the troll gives up and leaves because they can't troll me. You know, you're not supposed to feed the trolls. That's the first rule. I feed them though until they explode, and they're like, this guy's just. He's too good. He's too good.
Or I'll play stupid, like I don't understand what they're doing, to the point where they get frustrated and leave. Nice. I usually try and shut them down by just saying, "I realize what you're doing, and I don't have any time for it, so I'm just going to ignore you. Goodbye." Yeah. And then usually they just kind of go away. Because also there's hardly anyone else talking, so it's not like they have an audience. They're just kind of exactly. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. The only thing that I do not tolerate with trolls in my channel is the moment that they turn on other people in my chat or anything like that. If it's coming at me, I have no problem with it. You know, bring it. Like, tell me I'm ugly, tell me whatever. But the moment they start attacking someone else in my chat, they'll automatically get permabanned right at that second. Like, there won't be any warning, there won't be nothing. The moment they say something like, you know, fuck you to one of my other people in the chat, then they're gone at that moment. It's not okay. But I also have, like, I've had trolls too that, you know, I permaban them, they're back 2 minutes later with a brand new account. And then I permaban that one, and then they're back 2 minutes later with another account, and I permaban that one. But luckily I have a buddy who is pretty much always online, who all I have to do is send him a little message over Stream or Twitter or something. He jumps in my chat. The next time that person comes in, they get IP banned from my channel. Oh, nice. So it's quite handy to have those kind of people on your side. Yeah. Because to deal with these kind of things, because it is a simple IRC chat. It's not nothing fancy, and if you do know what you're doing, it's not hard. But so there's certain levels of troll I accept in my channel, but you know, there is always that breaking point. Yeah, and you don't want it to really affect how you're streaming it. If it's adding to the kind of enjoyment of the stream, it's okay. But if they start getting you down or something like that, it's just a bit too much. Like, I find a lot of the times that my comebacks at the trolls are a lot funnier than their trolling, and that the people in my chat actually enjoy it. Like, they get a kick out of it because they find it funny. You know, to the point where they start laughing at the troll because the troll's useless. I desensitize the troll to the point where he just kind of gets laughed out of the channel. Poor trolls. Now we should feel sad for them. I don't feel sad for them. They'll find another channel. Don't worry. There's thousands upon thousands of them. Yep.
Or they'll just get perma-banned from Twitch completely somehow. I don't know if that's a thing.
Oh yeah,
Global ban.
You can get global ban from Twitch altogether.
Then
There's
you have
ways
to be
you
a
can
right
actually make
idiot.
it. There's ways you can make it happen actually if you want.
I
I
don't want.
like brag about it.
Oh, okay.
I've been global banned 5 times because it's
Yeah.
only they won't ban you forever. They'll ban you for a certain amount of time.
Right.
I don't know if unless you're really persistent, then I'm sure they will permanent ban you. But
Yeah, or if you're doing something that's actually not like seriously against terms of service or something like that.
yeah,
Or
from
like
what
you're
I've seen
threatening
lately
someone
from-
or something like that. You probably
yeah,
get
okay, yeah.
perma
Like I
banned
said,
for
though,
it.
from what I've seen lately, the rules that they set out are to be loosely followed.
Kind of a guideline more than rules. Yeah.
Yeah, more of a guideline.
Especially if the thing's
well-
making them money.
Well, exactly. It's more of a. I always like I've worked in kitchens for the last 17 years now, and I have always lived by the thing of lead by example, and if the boss is willing to do something, that I should be willing to do the same thing. And that's mostly because the first chef that I worked under had the same mentality, where he'd have like a new dishwasher would come in or something, and say like something really shitty would happen in the washroom that the dishwasher would have to go and fix. And the dishwasher would complain and be like, I ain't fucking doing that. Well, my chef would be like, okay, I'm doing it this time. You're going to come watch me do it. And then you're never, ever going to fucking say no again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and usually they'd be like, okay. And then he'd go in, he'd clean up the mess. He'd come back in and be like, that's it. It's like, and then the next time it happened, the dishwasher would be like, well, I guess I have to.
Yeah.
Boss did it.
It's kind of a good life lesson, I guess.
Yeah. So I kind of wish Twitch would follow that. And if they really want us to follow their rules, they should enforce them.
Mm-hmm.
A little heavier. I don't do anything really that's against the rules. I actually go sometimes out of my way to make sure that I follow the rules, but every once in a while I do things that are probably not frowned or not smiled upon, I guess.
Yeah, at the same time though, some of their rules are a bit silly.
Some of them are, but a lot of them I agree with. But
Like I guess they have good grounding, but the way that they could be interpreted,
they're worded very poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially their one about what they consider sexually explicit clothing. That's the one ROC thing that really bothers me.
Yeah, they
And
kind of
that's the
just
problem
name
I
things and then don't
Well, what they
really
said
explain it.
Well, I could almost quote it. I've read it so many times.
Okay.
That they don't allow sexually explicit clothing, which is they said for men, if it's too hot and you're not wearing a shirt, you have to do from the neck up, and tank tops and stuff are not accepted. But then for women, they said bikini tops and lingerie are the only two things that they actually list. But here's the problem I have. Is that there are girls that they have on Twitch now that have breasts bigger than my head, that are wearing the lowest cut tank top so that it shows everything of their breasts except from the top of their nipple up.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, take a basketball and then take a towel and wrap that towel around the bottom half of the basketball and tell me that still doesn't look sexually explicit. Especially when it's taking up 2/3 of the screen.
Yeah.
And you're bouncing them up and down.
You're playing Wii Fit or something.
And your chat is nothing but people being banned for saying nice tits. Literally. Which I've now been banned from as well. Not because I said nice tits, but because I said you are a joke to all female streamers on Twitch, and then I got banned. So.
Yeah.
They didn't like that either.
Well, to be honest, if I was a girl and I had big breasts and I like to game, I might consider actually doing that on Twitch because, like as you say, people don't really get banned for it, or I haven't heard of a big thing about anyone getting banned particularly. So it's kind of like a nice tool, I guess, to use to get you bigger, but it kind of shouldn't be. It's like, yeah, if I was a woman going into streaming and I saw what was happening, I would probably get the wrong idea as well and decide to do the things that aren't really against or aren't really in line with terms of service. So.
Yeah, the only those is those kind of streamers. Quite honestly, like I don't know if you're a girl and you know that you're gonna get more viewers if you wear a low cut T-shirt and stuff like that. How is that any different from saying, well, I know I can make more money if I go outside and pull my skirt up? How is that any different? And then really the only other kind of streamers that I don't really think should belong on Twitch are the ones that literally are just doing it for donations and money. Like I go into many streams where the only panel and stuff that they have on their channel, or the only thing that they have scrolling on their channel, is donations. And that's it. Like they don't even have follower alerts, but they have a donation alert and they have a donation button. And it's just like, really? I'm like, sorry,
it's a different reason for streaming.
It's a very, I don't know, selfish, self-centered kind of. Quite honestly, if you think you can make a career out of it, go right ahead. But but
it's
whatever.
Not really,
to each their own.
Yeah, it's not really your reason for streaming.
Oh God, no.
yeah.
God, no. I don't. If I just quit making money off of or quit making my job right now, I'd be kicked out of my house in a month off the money I make off of doing this.
Yeah.
I don't do it for the money. I don't get me wrong. Every single cent that I've gotten from this has been so appreciated and gone right back into it. Like my Patreon money, it pays. I take $50 a month out of it to pay for my internet. I don't mind telling people this because when I moved in, my internet was shitty. And they said to upgrade it to the unlimited package would cost an extra $50 a month. And I was like, okay. So I set that as a goal on my Patreon thing. If I got enough people to pledge to me that they were bringing me $50 a month, that I would get better internet and be able to stream better. And luckily enough, I had enough people sub to me that I was able to hit that plateau. And then, so now I have better internet. And that's where $50 every month comes out of my Patreon and goes into my internet bill. And then anything that's left over goes into my PayPal account, which is then used to buy games on Steam or things like that for giveaways. And that's it.
It sounds fair enough to me.
Because, like I said, I make a living wage. I don't need the extra money. And quite honestly, I have much more fun giving stuff out. Like, it's so much fun. Like, there's so many people, like, I've had 3 or 4 giveaways, or 3 or 4 24s now, where I've done lots of giveaways and give away tons of shit. And I've had lots of people message me after the 24s and after the giveaways being like, oh my God, I've never won anything ever. This is awesome. Thank you so much. You know, and it's just those little things that really make it really cool.
Yeah, I guess you stream for the passion of streaming and the kind of the community aspect rather than anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's 100% for the community for me. Like, I'm very much, if I'm not streaming, like, I don't watch TV anymore. Ever since I started watching Twitch is TV for me now. Like, I come home, and if I'm not streaming or whatever, I'll sit down and turn on my following thing and sit there and watch the stream all night.
It's kind of happened with me as well.
And, but at the same time, I don't just watch streams. I try to be talkative and chat and talkative to the streamer as well, because I know that that's what a lot of streamers are looking for. So I've been known to pop into a lot of different channels. So there's been lots of times where I've jumped into channels and they'd be like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And I'd be like, "Well, I don't know. I searched I searched people who were playing Borderlands 2, and I started jumping in channels."
Yeah.
And like, I do that quite often, just jump into random channels, give them a follow, talk to them. And many of them that I've come across are either now really good friends that I actually, friends that you know, Twitch friends, I guess you could call them. And then that I talk to all the time, and I've helped them with their channels, and like I've done overlays for people, just randomly jump in a channel, and I've noticed that they don't have an overlay or something, and just make one for them, or things like that. And it's been really great. I've met a lot of really cool people.
You sound quite generous. It's pretty cool.
Well, I've had a lot of people help me. That's the one thing, is that once I hit that plateau where my channel started to grow at a continuous rate, uh, I decided, okay, all these people, I've had so much help getting to this point. I really need to find other people to start helping. And because, like, quite honestly, I know everything I need to know now to do my streaming, but there's lots of people out there that don't know how to do, custom settings and OBS and things like that, and that need help. And a lot of people aren't willing to help, which is a problem. So, like, a lot of people, like, I'm trying to build a computer for one of my mods. We through my channel and her channel, we raised enough money for her to get a gaming PC.
Nice.
She comes over and uses my PC to stream on her channel.
Oh, right.
But because she really liked streaming or really liked watching streams, so she figured she'd start streaming as well. So I was like, okay, well, you can use my rig, and if you want, and if you like it, then we'll see if we can get you a computer. And luckily enough, over the last couple months, we've raised enough money to get her a computer. So that's like another thing, like just building the more community and getting more people doing it and having fun that enjoy doing it. So.
Nice. It's definitely, we need more people like you in the Twitch community, because it's really cool.
Yeah, I've actually, as far as Twitch community goes, like I said, I've been mostly playing Borderlands, so my Twitch community is kind of limited to a lot of Borderlands streamers and things like that. And I'm kind of really glad I started with streaming Borderlands, because the Borderlands community is super friendly and accepting. Like, we've had lots of new streamers come into the community in the past year and everything, and everyone's just been accepted, and it's very, very awesome. And I don't think I'd been able to do it playing like a Call of Duty or like a World of Warcraft or Smite or something like that. I'm just kind of glad that the game I chose to stream had a really strong streaming community behind it already.
Yeah, that is a very good thing
very accepting
about the game. Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna say, but Borderlands is dying, so we're gonna have to find either build a new community or I don't know, something. Or kill time until Borderlands 3 comes out.
Borderlands hasn't fully died for me yet. I'm still enjoying the game, so I'll probably keep streaming some Borderlands every now and then. The dogs are barking. Good. I apologize.
It's just, that's like I said, it's just it's not so much, just because like someone like, for example, Morning After Kill has stopped doing all Borderlands related stuff.
Yeah.
For his own personal reasons of whatever he feels towards Gearbox and whatever. But eventually, like, I have thousands upon thousands of hours in this franchise. And no matter if you do anything for that long, it's going to get old and it's going to get stale.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, Borderlands is slowly getting to that point, especially after these last couple hunts. Like, holy shit. Farming with like a deep purpose behind it like that is really something.
Even though it's a whole like fun thing, it's kind of, I guess you get burnt out a bit from doing that. I just quit the hunt because I decided that I was not going to be able to spend the time to do it properly, and it was looking like it was going to be one of those things where I got burnt out. So I was just like, no, I'm not doing that.
I've never done these. Like, I didn't do Hunt 3 to try to win or try to get publicity or build a channel or anything like that. I just did it because it seemed like something really fun to do, and I really enjoyed farming. I had no intentions of winning or anything like that.
Yeah, when Cheese is in the hunt, you've got no chance.
Yeah.
Oh, and other people like him that just spend so much time.
Agent Lomax this year has really been pumping it out.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's been good. But I got up to 600. Let's see, I got a couple drops tonight actually, and let's see what I finished my night off at, 673. So if I can break 700, in the next, like, because it's over in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, just under a
Friday.
week.
So if I can get up to 700, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, well, good luck for that.
Yeah. There's not too much I really need left. That's not really hard to get, so no real easy points left. Sucks.
Just gotta grind it out for a bit.
Yeah, we got 4 days, 11 hours, 8 minutes, and 6 seconds left to the hunt.
Oh, wow. Do you have some sort of chat thing that tells you?
I have a timer in my chat, and people listening are putting in commands.
I see.
Yeah, I have probably close to 100 commands.
Whoa.
A lot of fun. A lot of them are fun. Like I have a bot called DeepBot, which is pretty much a bot system, and it's its own interface. Like I control it on my computer, and you can have unlimited amounts of commands with it.
Oh, that's neat.
Like it has its own command system and everything, and so I have lots of fun commands and like things like action commands that people can do to each other. Like you can pimp slap each other and like throw bananas at each other and like do all these kind of things. You can hug each other and kiss each other.
One thing I wanted to talk about to do with the Patreon thing is you've got a emote system going from people who donate to you on Patreon. I was interested in how that works.
Well, it's not even. The emote system isn't even for Patreon.
Oh, really?
Like my emote system in my channel is literally through browser plugins that anyone can use.
Oh, I see.
The two I use is the one that most everyone uses is Better Twitch TV. Better Twitch TV recently allowed Twitch channels to submit up to 5 of their own emotes. So I have, well, for some reason I have 6 because I'm special. I was able to sneak 6 in. But then I also have another one called Franker Faces. And what it does is it changes any word that you send them an emote picture and the word you want it to be. And whenever anyone types that word in my chat, it'll change that word to the picture for anyone who has the plugin. So like since I have the plugin and anyone else in my channel has it, if I type, for example, the word hunter with an exclamation point H or the capital H in it, it'll show a little picture of Hunter Locust's face in my chat. And like I have 27 or 28 different emotes now that you can play with, and I've done a lot of building of things for people to play with and have fun with. Like my bot has games that you can play and stuff like that, and you earn what I call Rid Rock, which is like an in-channel currency for the time you spend in, and you can play games with it and win more currency and stuff like that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you're adding a bit more extra fun on top of the streaming as well.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people like to interact and talk with each other in the chat. Because once you build like a decent following and you're getting people in here all the time, like I get the same people in here every night, and they get to know each other in that even, and get to like talking about like how they know like where each other work and stuff like that, and like ask each other how work was, and play the games together. And like I have one where that's like a knockout arena thing where they can fight each other. And like they get like bragging and stuff about that kind of stuff, and so it gives something more interaction for you to do instead of just sit there and watch and occasionally ask me a question or something, and that's it. Yeah,
that's cool. It is definitely when I jump in Rob's chat and he's got his he's got the badass ranks, I think, and then there's a game that you can play every hour or so. It's kind of a cool thing. Yeah,
that's the same bot.
All right.
Yeah, he has the same. He got the bot because he saw it in my chat, but I was like, I don't know, big ass channel like that, your chat's gonna get pretty spammy.
yeah. I think he had to move it over to the bot's chat.
He moved it now that you can't check you have to go to the bot's channel to check your badass rank.
Yeah. Otherwise, everyone just spams exclamation point badass rank. It gets
ridiculous. People still do it even though it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you haven't been in for a while.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna do something I've never done on a podcast before, which is be back in like a minute. I have to use the bathroom, so
pee break.
Woo! So if you want to entertain the viewers, the listeners,
yeah, for sure.
So I'll just be back real quick.
Okay.
Excuse us while I have a short toilet break. Be back right now. Hello, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
So, that's what happens when you're trying to get over a sickness by drinking lots of water. You have to take pee breaks.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you talk about while I was away? Anything interesting?
Oh, I just was giving my little mod spew about how everyone asked to be mod and stuff. And I have a little command in my mod if you ask to be mod in my channel. It's exclamation point mod. And it says the first rule of Mod Club is don't ask to be in Mod Club.
Nice.
It pretty much guarantees the moment you ask, I will never be a mod. If you have consistent, like I have really good consistent mods, like Sweet Vanilla and Agent Rockstar and Too Much 69. All those guys are pretty much always in my channel, so I'm not too worried about that, and they're usually very on top of things. So I'm not really looking for new mods.
Sure.
A lot of channels have theirs. A lot of like the decent channels have their mods that are on top of things and stuff. But
it's like in the podcast with Kitchen Wench, we talked a bit about mods and things like that, and she was saying that what she does is she sends people a message saying this is what if you become a mod, this is what I'm going to need you to do. It's like an important thing for me, and blah 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 blah. And then, would you like to do it? Rather than having people ask her, it's like she notices the people that are always in, the people that understand the jokes that you make, and the people that understand what is crossing the line and things like that. Because you need the right people to mod, the people who understand the feel of your stream. Otherwise, you can have people being silenced for an in-joke that they've been talking about for the past 5 weeks if the mod doesn't know. So it's definitely a big thing to be a mod for a channel, and it needs to be that way.
You also have to realize if you're a mod, you're here to put forth what I see fit. Not if you personally have a grudge against someone else that comes into the channel, then too bad, so sad.
And you need to make sure that the person that you're going to mod understands everything and things like that. So definitely, guys, stop asking for mod. Come on.
You're not going to get it.
What sparked that? Did you have someone ask you in chat before, or?
Oh, people ask you almost every night.
All right.
But no.
Sometimes I ask it as a joke, but I'm sure the people know that it's a joke.
Yeah. No
hopefully I don't get banned one day for it.
I forget what brought that up. Oh yeah, someone said they feel bad for Rob's mods because sometimes there's only 2 of them there.
Oh,
and I said, well, 2 people like moderating like 600 people. So but as long as they're on top of things, Vanilla's pretty much on top of things, and he has Mayhem, and he's usually on top of things. So, like I said, as long as you have good, decent mods that are on top of their game and know what they're doing and know what you want, then usually you don't have too many problems.
Alrighty, so I kind of wanted to know when you're not streaming, because you stream quite consistently, for quite a few hours every night. But do you have any kind of passions or hobbies that you do any other time, or is it mostly just your passion is Twitch and YouTube and things?
Yeah, literally, I pretty much just work, and on my days off when I'm not working, because I'll work, since I'm a cook, I work mostly night shifts, and I work from like 3 until like 9, sometimes at night. So I usually, it works best for me where I stay up late, get up late kind of thing, get up and go to work, and then come home and, relax for a bit, and then stream for a couple hours, and then go to bed. And then, but on my days off, I literally just, usually if I'm not working on YouTube videos, I sometimes do day streams and play video games, but no, I don't. I'm pretty much a hermit. Pretty much. I get out though every once in a while and sneak away, and I do have a personal life outside of it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, if Twitch and gaming and things is fun enough for you, like, you don't have to have too much. Like, you need a little bit of a life outside of it, but like if it's something that you enjoy enough to do all the time, then there's no reason why you shouldn't do it.
especially like if it's something that you enjoy too, that you should find people in your life that also enjoy it, and maybe like
No, no.
like if you want to find a significant other or something like that, find one that actually likes your streaming or likes that you play video games, kind of thing.
Mm.
That takes a lot, because like when I first started doing YouTube and stuff like that, my ex that I had at the time, she was always like, pretty much jealous of the time I spent doing my YouTube videos. So it kind of was distracting me from wanting to do them.
Right.
Didn't really give me a drive. But a lot better now. I found someone that's a lot more into my gaming and likes the fact that I play video games and stuff. So
That's good. Yeah. I just want to say I'm sorry about the barking. I'm a little distracted because of the barking that's
sorry.
happening on my side. The dogs have heard a noise outside, and they think they need to tell it off, whatever it is.
Yes.
I'm sure it's nothing though.
There's probably a car that drove by like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, might be that. Or maybe they heard a bird that sounded weird and they decided that they needed to bark at it.
Probably.
Or maybe they just want to bark at the sky. Sometimes they do that. One of the dogs, there's a like a skylight outside, and at nighttime the reflection on it is of people inside the house or dogs inside the house. So he'll go out there and he'll look up, and there'll be a reflection of one of the other dogs in the skylight, and he'll just start barking at them. Yeah, he's a little bit a special character, but yeah. Look at me hijacking the stream talking about dogs. It seems to happen every time. Somehow I'll bring it up. Yeah. Oh man, you've gone robot voice on me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. Please hold fast, and we shall get these sorted and get back to the podcast. Please enjoy the rest of the podcast. Oh my goodness. I'm back on the TeamSpeak. Oh, I'm back on the TeamSpeak. Oh, and you're good. You're good quality. Oh my goodness, it's back.
You can hear me good?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what happened. Like it's just my download speed just went to basically nothing. I couldn't even open up any new tabs or anything like that. It just didn't work.
No.
But I guess we're back and sorted again. That was a bit of a disaster in the middle there.
It's all good. That's what editing's for.
Yes, the YouTube people will not know. I guess I probably should say that we're back now. We had a bit of technical difficulties with my internet connection, but we'll continue on with the podcast now and just hope that doesn't happen again. I tried to send you a message on Twitter, by the way, but it was an internal server error or something like that. I don't even know.
No.
Anyway, where did we leave off?
I don't know.
Great.
Talking about dogs, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I guess I can move on to learning about your plans for the future. You were saying about how you would like to do it as like a full-time thing, and you'd like to be partnered on Twitch, but you don't think that is a possibility?
Well, it's not so much that it's a possibility as much as I'm quite happy with Patreon. Patreon, for one thing, you get a lot more of the proceeds than you do with the Twitch partnership. Twitch partnership it's a 50-50 split, where the Patreon gets more like 10-15%.
Right.
So it's a lot better for me that way, and a lot more, which means I can buy a lot more giveaway stuff and things like that, which is pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. And then as far as like I said, I don't really like the way Twitch has been acting lately as a company. So as far as being partnered, at every couple thousand milestones, I'll submit an application. But
It's not high priority.
It's not high priority for me now, quite honestly. I have the better Twitch TV emotes that people can play with and things in my channel. Having that little badge and stuff like that is not really that big of a deal for me. Although you do get a lot more exposure, and things like that. But if I build up a community around myself enough and I keep doing it as often as I'm doing it or whatever, and keep my schedule going, I can still get nights where I have 100 people, a couple hundred people watching me, even though I'm not partnered.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that, and they're like, oh, well, then you don't get the source qualities. And it's like, well, I don't really run that high of a source anyhow. Like, if you can't handle a 2500 bit rate, then I don't know, where are you living?
Hey, I can't handle that. Come on now.
You can handle that?
Yeah, no, my down speed usually I think is 10 megabit, and so if anyone else is on the internet doing anything, it's kind of like I'm limited to medium to low quality partners streaming, or the occasional streamer will have a low enough bit rate for me to watch them, but yeah, it's not the greatest. I just live too far away from broadband. No, not broadband. I mean, I've got broadband, of course, but too far away for fiber to be an option, and it's far away from the switch boxes or whatever. So there's a lot of noise on the line, and I don't know. It's just a bit of a slow connection.
Yeah, when I started streaming with a satellite internet connection where I had a little satellite dish on top of my house that was bringing in my internet signal to my house. And I had 5 megabytes down and 1 up. And I was streaming with it.
Right, yeah.
I was running a bit rate of 750. But I streamed with it for like a good, I got to 500 at that. Really low quality and stuff. But I had people help me in the sense that I have custom OBS settings that allowed me to broadcast a fairly high definition stream at that setting. So that helped out a lot. But I don't have to worry about that now.
Yeah, I mean, you got great internet now, don't you?
Yeah. I moved into town. That helped.
Quite jealous of a lot of people who they're streaming. They can stream it at 720p, 60 frames per second, perfectly, and they can watch their own stream while watching someone else's stream, and talking over Skype with a voice with a video call, and like everything runs perfectly because they just have so much down, so much up.
Yeah, we have usually while I'm streaming, I have my stream running, which is uploading, and then I have my a browser open that usually has my stream running, as well as the chat with another like 4 or 5 tabs open as well. And then my roommate is usually out watching either like hockey or Netflix or something online, which is also pulling. And then I'm talking to people on either TeamSpeak or Skype at the same time every night, and yeah, you have to have a decent internet to be able to do all that. Yeah.
I am jealous of you. One day I'll get a decent internet connection. They're always upgrading everything, so.
But as far as like future, besides like a Twitch partnership or anything like that, I don't know. I'm very much always said with my channel, my channel has been from the very start me playing the games I like to play, and that's pretty much it. If I'm gonna play the games that I want to play, and if you want to watch, that's pretty cool. Hi.
Fair enough.
But I have a lot of, after Borderlands kind of slowly starts to fade away due to either nothing being put out for it or the fact that the pre-sequel is just not quite gonna cut it. And I'm also getting, like, lots of people are still getting the game and becoming new to it, but it's just getting old for me to play. Like, I just don't quite enjoy it as much anymore. So at that point, I figure it's time. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to put on some kind of front like I am.
So just move on to a new game?
Yeah, it's better I just move on to something else, or at least not play Borderlands as often.
Right.
At least.
Go back to it as like a base thing, but don't stay playing it all the time.
Yeah, not 7 days a week. Borderlands.
Yeah.
I want to start doing retro nights where I play emulator games and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I started doing that during the hunt just to try to break up the monotony, but then I got distracted by doing the hunt. So.
Distracted from your distraction of the hunt by the hunt.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
There you go.
I guess it just didn't work. It just didn't take, I guess.
Yeah.
It's because I started playing the very first Zelda game and I got frustrated at it.
Oh, I see.
And then it was like, fuck retro night. Fuck.
Back to the hunt.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I know how to hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know how to do this.
Have you tried speed running in Borderlands or Borderlands 2?
No. There's way too much stuff that I'd have to learn for that at this point.
To be honest, it's not that difficult. Like, I just the other day decided I would start practicing it, and there's a tutorial by Shining Face on Twitch. Okay. He has quite a good tutorial on it. And I mean, I've only learnt 40 minutes worth of the run, but you just got to do it a few times. Like what I did was I had his VOD up while while playing through my bit. Mm-hmm. So I'd watch a bit of his and then try and do it on mine. It was incredibly difficult the first time trying to get everything correct, but like I just was trying to learn the basics. And then I just
like where you jump and stuff, right?
Yeah, you jump at certain times, and you've got to hit the enemies in order for it to run as fast as possible. And there's quite a few tricks and things to it. But from just kind of, I think I did 3 or 4 runs up to. I'm just going to Sanctuary at the moment in Borderlands 2. Did kind of 3 or 4 runs while watching his one the whole time, and then now I've got it down where I think I know how to do the run, so I'm just running it through a bunch more times to get some practice in there. And it's like a lot more fun than what I have previously been doing in Borderlands, just because it's something new. I'm learning some things that I didn't actually know from the first times I've played Borderlands. Like it was definitely fun to play Borderlands 2 the first 5, 6, 7 times that I've been through the campaign. But just like, I guess for me, streaming was adding interest in Borderlands 2 as well. Like I was getting kind of to the end of what I wanted to do in Borderlands 2, and then starting to stream it is kind of like that adds more interesting elements to the game, because I really like Borderlands. I want to keep playing.
Gives a little life back into it for you.
Yeah, exactly. And now I've found speedrunning, which I reckon is going to be able to add some life into it as well, which should be kind of cool.
Well, there's lots of other cool things you can do, like allegiance runs, One Lives to Live, or we used to do hide and seek, where you go in and you set up your console command, so that you can open up the console commands in game, and then you can toggle off your HUD on and off. And what you do is you bring 3 people in, one person toggles off their HUD and like hides in the corner, and the rest of the people go and hide somewhere on the map. And then that person has to go. The person with their HUD toggled off has to go find those people.
That's kind of cool.
We used to do things like that. So that it's just something outside of the actual game, but in the game, that made it seem a little bit more interesting for a while.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I hope for you that Borderlands stays interesting, and also you find some other kind of cool games and cool communities on Twitch, I guess.
I'm looking to get a PS4 and probably get into some Destiny at some point here.
Yeah, that seems to be the general thing that everyone's doing. Yeah. It's like I know Mastercaz went over to that as well, and
pretty much all of the big Borderlands streamers went over to that,
except Baru. Baru stayed loyal.
Yeah, but pretty much all of them went over. But I don't know. Like I said, it's getting near its life cycle for me too. But especially after the pre-sequel release and screw up that they did with that. Yeah, it's almost along the lines, and then like I watched like Morning After Kill's video about him talking about why he stopped doing it, and it's more along the lines of he doesn't want to continue to support Gearbox as a company. It's not so much has anything to do with the franchise itself, albeit, you know, the pre-sequel sucked and all, but it's just the way they dealt with the pre-sequel and stuff that shows that it was nothing. It just shows to me that the pre-sequel is nothing more than just a big money grab. They knew we'd buy it, but they didn't put any real effort into it. It's a paste and copy game of Borderlands 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just took the exact same code, put some new maps, a couple of new weapons, reskinned enemies, and away you go.
I kind of like the pre-sequel, not as a full game, but just kind of every now and then like a little bit of a different Borderlands experience. But I can definitely see what you mean about the copy and paste.
It feels like a big add-on to Borderlands 2.
Kind of like a big DLC sold as
like
a really new game.
Like a really big DLC that they just packaged as a new game, exactly. And sold for the exact same price that they sold the last one for, but then didn't continue to put the same amount of effort into it that they did the last one.
Yeah.
Because they've released what?
One proper DLC.
Well, here's the thing I don't like is that they sold the season pass for the Borderlands, the pre-sequel as well, for the same price as the Borderlands 2 season pass. Yeah. But the Borderlands 2 season pass got you 2 characters, 3 or 4 full campaign DLCs.
Yeah. I know I was looking...
For the pre-sequel pass, you know, you get the Holodome, 2 characters, and 1 DLC.
Yeah, I was definitely looking for more in the DLC from the pre-sequel. And I bought the season pass thinking it's a Borderlands game. Borderlands 2 had a season pass, and they came out with pretty big story DLCs, and it was pretty awesome. And then they said that for the pre-sequel, that if you buy the season pass, they're not going to put out any extra content that won't be included in the season pass. And I was like, cool, that's a really good idea. Have everything included in the season pass. Don't add a bunch of extra stuff that you have to buy if you want to keep playing it. I thought that was really cool, and then I realized that it's just 2 characters, which like I mean the characters are kind of cool, but
Jack Aurelia is super overpowered.
Oh yeah, she's so much fun. But not really worth a quarter of a season pass, which could be Borderlands 2 quality. It's just, I guess, we keep comparing the pre-sequel to an incredible game, Borderlands 2. It's kind of, I don't
That was the problem that game had from release day, was that the fact that people were expecting what they were playing on Borderlands 2, including all the DLC, huge maps, everything like that. Most of those people don't remember when Borderlands 2 was first released, how glitched it was and how fucked up it was and how small it was.
Yeah.
The vanilla game for Borderlands is in map size is just about as big as the pre-sequel.
Yeah.
But then you add, 4 full campaign DLCs on top of that,
and all of the
you have 20 maps
things
to choose from. Yeah, and the Headhunter ones, like next thing you know, you got 20 different maps to choose from.
Yeah.
Now, if they were willing to put the work into the pre-sequel, it could be just as big as that and just as good as Borderlands 2 if they continue to patch things and fix the things that they screwed up the first time when they transferred the code and the Aussie people didn't double check their work before they shipped it. Because literally that's all it was. It's coding in a game. You can go into the coding yourself with cheat engine and stuff and look at the enemies and see that they were supposed to drop this legendary or they were supposed to drop this legendary. But all it comes down to is somebody didn't check to make sure the 1s and 0s were in the right places before they shipped it.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate.
That's all it is.
It was kind of a bit of a... It was hyped up so much and everyone was looking forward to it, and it kind of fell flat a little bit. It was unfortunate. I don't want to hate on the game too much though, because I did have some fun in there.
I thought Borderlands the pre-sequel is actually fits in perfect with the series. The only thing is it doesn't fit in technically with the series in the sense that they screwed up the coding and stuff. But as far as gameplay, storyline, the stuff that they put into it, like the new weapon types and the new characters and their skills and stuff, all awesome. All awesome. They just screwed up the coding. That's all.
Yeah.
And screwed up the fact that it's not going to have as much content as it should. They're not showing it the respect that a Borderlands standalone title should get.
Yeah.
Really. They don't. I don't think Gearbox understands how much Borderlands means to them as a series in their catalog.
Right. I'm sure they understand the money-wise, though.
Oh, I'm sure they will. When I got a feeling like they don't. I don't think that they understand too how much this whole shift in the streaming YouTube community switching over to Destiny actually does mean. A lot of these big YouTubers and streamers that have built if Morning After Kill, I will say, after the passing of Yoda Slayer, is probably the biggest Borderlands YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And he has literally stopped supporting Gearbox altogether. And a lot of the other ones like Gathalion and those guys, they've pretty much given up on Borderlands as well. Now Baru's still kicking around, a couple other people, but like a lot of them have pretty much given up on Gearbox as a company.
And they definitely have a lot of influence in the community as well.
Exactly. They have a lot of influence. When you have, over 150,000 subscribers to your channel and such, and getting 100,000 views on your videos in a couple days, that actually will have an impact on the bottom line of a company. As much as they may not think it will, they will. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
We will see what Battleborn's like, and we will see what Borderlands 3 is like. So, but until then, I will find something else to play.
Fair enough. Right, so we're getting towards the end of the podcast here, so I'll just say now that the Q&A will be coming up very soon. So if there is anyone that wants to ask Villian any question that you haven't asked him on his stream already or something like that, feel free to chuck it into my chat, and we will get onto that just after this little next little bit here. So usually what I like to do to kind of end the podcast just before the Q&A is ask what kind of advice you have for anyone that's currently streaming or looking to stream.
Okay, well, we'll start off with people who are looking to stream. First thing you're going to need is a fairly decent computer, basically. If I do understand that Xbox and PS4 do have streaming capabilities and such, but if you want to build an actual channel and be consistent and be a really decent streamer that a lot of people want to watch and stuff, you're going to have to eventually step up to the PC world.
Mm-hmm.
And along with that will come decent internet as well. And none of that is cheap. It costs me a good bit of money to get going and things like that. But once you get going, it actually is very fun, and just be yourself. Once you get going and you are a streamer and you start streaming, be yourself, have fun. Just for those nights where there's nothing, where there's just you and Nightbot, what I used to do is let my inner gaming monologue out. I just wouldn't, if I kill someone and I'd be like, yeah, I'd just say it instead of thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk to the game or talk to myself while I play the game and pretend that people are watching me, kind of thing. Because when you come into a channel, there's nothing worse than just seeing, especially if they have a face cam or something, seeing someone just sit there kind of staring at their screen, playing their game and not talking. Like I said, you got to kind of treat it like it's a show. And people come to be entertained. I'm sorry, but that's what Twitch has become for me. Twitch has become TV for me. I come to be entertained. When I go to a channel, I want to be entertained. I want to feel some kind of excitement, interaction or something with that channel. So be interactive with your chat. That's a huge thing. Make sure that your chat is that's why you're doing it, is for people to watch. So make sure that you are interactive with them and talk to them and answer questions and try to be helpful and whatever.
And I reckon in that same vein, like you said before, I reckon the most important thing when streaming is the having fun part. Because if you're having fun, then it's likely that the people watching will also be having fun.
Yeah, unless you're one of those rage gamers. that just
Oh yeah,
rages
sure.
at everything.
That can be
That can be
entertaining
quite,
too.
yeah, that can be quite entertaining too.
Watching
But
Baru play through those really difficult platformers, and he's just like
yeah,
raging, and so much
I
fun.
I recently joined a Twitch team called Team Canada, and it's a group of Canadian streamers, and it's led by a guy named Troyden Gaming, and he plays Major League Baseball gaming, like
Oh, okay.
video game, and he rages sometimes so hard while playing that game,
Hmm.
like screaming and like freaking out and stuff, that it's very, but you know that like then he'll stop and he'll like calm himself down and get back into it, and it's very entertaining to watch. But you
Yeah,
know that that's literally what he does. He freaks out when he games, and he's one of those freak out gamers.
freak out
And like
gamers.
that's one thing, is have fun, be yourself. If you're not like, I've met streamers that like put on costumes and stuff like that, or pretend to be something, and then like literally have said to me after they've done streaming or something and come into my channel, or before they start their stream, or be something like, I gotta go get ready, I hate doing this and blah blah blah, and it's like, then don't do it.
Yeah,
Like people can tell if you don't like what you're doing. You can tell. Like there's nights where I'm having a bad night or something's happened, or in my personal life or something, I'm just not feeling it, and people will come in, and like that people that come in and watch me all the time will come in and be like, what's wrong? Like they know, like they can tell when someone's not having fun or someone's not happy or whatever. Especially if you have a face cam
hmm.
and green and all this fancy green screen shit that I got,
Yeah.
which is not fancy. It's literally a wall painted green.
I need one of those. I got to get me one of those
Yeah.
green walls.
Yeah, I started with a green Bristol board from the dollar store that I taped to my wall.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah, I might have to do something DIY in that realm as well.
Well, if you want to see
Sometime.
what I have, if you want to see my setup, I have a setup video on my YouTube. It
Wow,
shows my green screen and
that's
all that
actually a
stuff.
great segue to ending the podcast, because it doesn't
Oh.
seem like anyone wanted to ask any questions, which is completely fine. That happens. They've probably already asked you everything they want to know.
I actually
Yeah.
have a good idea for your question Q&A thing at the end,
Mhm.
because you do post like on Twitter and stuff saying that I'm going to be doing this podcast on this date and stuff like that. Is maybe finding like an Ask FM or like something like that where people can post questions throughout the week, and then
That
you'd have a list of questions from viewers to
that
have
is
at
a
the end of the
good
show.
idea. I can't believe I haven't thought of that. That's great.
There you go,
I'm
contributing.
writing that down. Questions before podcast.
There you go. Like get like questions. Ask people on Twitter if they have questions for this person or something like that, and build a list.
Nice. Well, yeah. Thanks for the advice, dude.
So, yeah, I'm always trying to help.
Sweet. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, the segue was going to be YouTube and your channel and links. So check out your links and everyone. Where can they find you if they want to see more?
Well, if you want to see more of me, my name is Masked Villain Gaming, and I spelt it wrong because I can't spell. So that's one of the problems people have when they find me, is that they spelled the word villain correctly. But I live in Canada, and in Canada we put our vowels in different order sometimes. So that's why I tell people that it's spelled Villian instead of AIN, which is correct.
So you're just
Because
Masked Villian Gaming.
Masked Villian, yes, Masked Villian Gaming. It sounds more proper and gentleman-like, I guess. But pretty much that name is everywhere. That's my my Twitter is just Masked. It's either Masked Villain or Masked Villain Gaming everywhere. YouTube is Masked Villain Gaming. Twitter is Masked Villain. Steam is Masked Villain. I have a Facebook group. I have a Steam group. All types of stuff.
There you go. That's what good branding
Yeah.
is. Get your name the same everywhere.
Yeah, and it helped that I misspelled it because there was lots of people that had already had Masked Villain.
Yeah,
spelled
well, yeah,
correctly.
that's a good point.
So, at least I didn't have to put numbers in as letters and stuff.
Yeah. So if you want to find me, I have a YouTube channel, a Twitch channel. I've got Twitter and Steam, and I am Mr. Gruntle on all of those. So if you've found this podcast, you probably have seen the name and you can probably find it in the places. So yeah. Is there anything else that you particularly wanted to say during the podcast, Masked Villain, or?
Just that the people watching this on YouTube to make sure to check the description for links to all of these channels that we just mentioned.
Yes, that's a good point. I will put them in there. I'll make sure they're in.
That's my YouTube 100 or almost 200 videos experience kicking in.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Subscribe for more content. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, I have intros and outros that I do on that are set standard now.
Yeah.
Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Throw a thumbs up down below. It'd be highly appreciated.
Excellent. Thanks for making
Borderlands videos, tips, tricks.
Super professional for me. There we go. Alrighty, I want to say a big thanks to you, Masked Villain, for coming on the podcast. I really enjoyed it, apart from the technical difficulties in the middle there.
That is actually one of the things that I've learned about streaming and doing videos and stuff, is that almost every day there is something that's going to go wrong.
Oh yeah, it's bound to happen, and it's surprising that it took 7 podcasts for something to actually go properly wrong.
Oh, you got through 7 before something went wrong?
Yeah, well, this is the 7th, yeah.
I fight my follow alerts every night. So
yeah,
I can't get that shit straight. So.
Cool. And I also want to say thank you very much to everyone that was listening and talking in chat and things like that. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I hope you guys want to see more from Masked Villain. He's a cool guy. Go check him out on all the things.
Thank you.
So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'll catch you guys next week. The guest will be, it's going to be Ganza. That's the one. So we're going to be talking about the hunts, which will have just finished, and that kind of stuff. Ganza.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys next week for the podcast. Thanks for listening.